Aloha, welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Sessions. We have automation expert Jason Moran on this Friday's live show. We're going to be talking about how to get 1 to 3 new subscription, if I can talk, Jason, 1 to 3 new subscription clients each month, even if you're brand new and you've never had a client before. So we're going to share some different strategies, some ways to do that. You guys are going to love this show. We have a new way to do the Cash App money at the end. I'll be talking about that. We're going to share some shout outs. We're going to take your questions. It's just going to be an all around good time. So I'm going to cue up the intro and we'll see you back here in one momento.
It's time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to grow and scale your business from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, we've returned for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. And now, here are your hosts.
Man, as usual, fired up out there. Woo! Please. All right.
God, just don't stop.
Yeah, no, it's just so fun.
Jeez.
I wish I could take that sound effect and walk around in my actual life.
I was just going to say.
Have it going on when I walk in a restaurant or in a room.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Right.
Well, man, welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Session, everybody.
Yeah, welcome, everybody.
Woo-hoo. Who we got in the house? Let's see. Oh, I'm not sure who this is, but if you grant permission to StreamYard, somebody from our team will pop that link in there. Then we'll be able to see your happy face and profile like we see Doug here. Happy Friday, Doug. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, I see James in the house. Aloha, James.
Aloha, James.
Yeah, I know some. Come on, put some hellos in the stream. Give us some likes. I see there's like 35 of you watching this. Come on,
We got Gary.
Yeah, this is interactive. Plus, I got to look over here and see what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. Okay. All right. Okay. Woo. You know, today we're going to be talking about automation. It's interesting because, one of now I see lots of people. Hey, what's up? Look on YouTube.
They're starting to pour in. Oh, we got YouTube. Nice.
Yep, you can watch the stream on YouTube, make comments. We can see them. Oh, look, here's Dorn standing by with a new mug of coffee and his snarky comments. I love the Punisher logo, Dorn. I had that painted on my big toenails one time. The lady was like, "You want the Punisher skull?" I was like, "Hey, I can't do anything too girly." As I'm getting my big toenails painted, so it's pretty funny. Let's see who else is in there. Oh man, look at this. We got lots of YouTube people here. We got Kim, we got Bruce, who lives just around the corner from me. What's up, Scott? What's up, Bob? Look at all those people in there. This was before the one that ripped off. I hadn't painted them in a really long time. And I went with my wife, we got pedicures, and I had them paint them white, and they had a lucky 4-leaf clover on it because it was right before St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that turned out to not be very lucky because that toenail got ripped off. Yeah. Hey, welcome everybody. Awesome. Cool. Excited you're here. So what I was getting ready to say before I got sidetracked there by the comments and everything was, hey guys, come on, like the stream too. Give us some love. We're always hanging out here and it's always, I always look up in there. Well, usually Dorn makes an angry face, but give us some love. No angry faces. Anyway, we're going to be talking about automating. And, it's interesting because there's, Jason and I were talking about this before the show. It's like there's different levels of automation and there's also different ways to approach this subject, right? But one of the key things that you have to have in place before you can automate anything is you need to know your system and process, right? So that's the first key step. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but we have a toolkit that we put together not long ago. We call it the Lazy Agency Owners Toolkit. It's basically a collection of our frameworks, our systems and processes for some of the core things we do at the agency. Like there's frameworks for the 3 core services that we offer. So, last year we did a little over $1 million at the agency. We did it basically offering 3 core services. So we've got those frameworks in there. We've got frameworks for onboarding clients, something that a lot of people overlook. And then where there's some stuff in there, for the sales and the prospecting side and how we found our salesperson, how we structure the payouts, all that stuff. So it's a great little toolkit. It's got a lot of that foundational stuff. And, it's something that you can use to then take and, depending on, how sophisticated you want to get, you can automate those various things. And what got me thinking about this was this live show is a really great example of this because, I know for a long time, I stayed stuck in growing my business because I wanted to do it the fastest and most efficient way possible. Can you relate to that, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And because I was constantly looking for the fastest and most efficient way possible, I was slow to take actual action because I thought, well, if I can't do it the fastest way possible, I don't even want to do it. And like, I just had this obsession and like the shift for me came when I got 14 clients in not very long. I did it in about 7 days, but it really had nothing. It had zero to do. Like I got these 14 clients in 7 days and it had zero. It was zero efficient. Like there was, there was no fancy software. There was no automated email sequences. There was none of that stuff. It was just getting up in the morning, taking action, going out and not stopping until I got a client. Right. And I got at least one client every single day for those 7 days. But a lot of days I got multiple. I remember one day, Jason, I was like 6 o'clock at night and I hadn't sold anything. And I thought, oh, my streak's going to be busted. And I couldn't go to restaurants because they were in dinner. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I looked up and I saw this tattoo parlor. And I was like, go to the tattoo parlor. And I went there and I sold a spot and then I went home. But I wasn't going to give up, right? So I bring all this up because automation and all this stuff is great. But, it's more important that we start taking some action. And my experience has shown me that it's more important to take the imperfect action to get going and have an unsophisticated form of automation and then build it up over time. This is the point I keep getting at, and I keep going off on a tangent, Jason. But this live show is a great example because when we started this live show, it was just me and Nick, and we would just kind of hang out, and we would talk. Like we'd talk about various things, take questions. There really wasn't much structure to it. As we continued to do it, and I think we've been doing this live show for years, right? Like I think we're over 200 episodes. So like we've been doing this consistently for a long time. But as we've kind of went through, we started thinking, well, how can we make this better, right? How can we make it more fun for us? How can we make it more fun for you? And now today we have a show notes document. Like everything is mapped out and planned before we get here. The show notes have all the stuff, like the shout outs have come, and you can see what Shushan's been able to do with those and the graphics. And like if you look at all this stuff compared to where we started, if you looked at what we were doing today, you may think, I need all that to get started. Well, we didn't have all that to get started, right? The thing was to just get started and then kind of automate and improve as you go. What's kind of been your experience?
I think that a lot of times, that the automation and the systems are born out of taking that imperfect action, like you were talking about, and I think that's when you really learn first and foremost, like what you want to automate, because a lot of times you'll sit down and try to think about, okay, this in a perfect scenario, this is how this service should run, or this is how my business should run. And these are the steps that I need to follow. But then the real world is often a lot different than when you go to script it and plan it out. Right.
Yeah.
So I think when you actually when you just take those actions, like you said, and you do that consistently, even though it's not perfect, well, then, a plan and a framework is almost kind of born out of just taking that action. So I think really the first step to figuring out, first off, what should you automate is actually take the first move, like make the first move, get out on your own, make take those imperfect actions so that you can figure out, okay, what things can we automate? What should we, where should there be a plan? Where should there be some structure here? But I think, yeah, a lot of that stuff just comes out of actually doing the work.
Yeah. And I think you hit on a really important thing there, which is like, and we used to talk about this a lot and we haven't really talked about it that much, which is like, it's a term that we got from the software as a service industry, SaaS. They have this thing called the minimum viable product, right? And the minimum viable product is like the most basic thing you need just to start acquiring customers. And then, you improve and branch out from there as those new customers come in. And there used to be a saying that was like, if you're not embarrassed about the first version of your software, then you waited too long to launch, right? Because you can get all wrapped up in what features you think that people want and what they want to see. Yeah. And then you launch and like, maybe they don't even want those features. And how that applies to an agency business is the same. Like, I know, man, I spent a lot of time learning services and getting deep in the rabbit hole because I thought they were going to be an amazing thing to sell. And then I didn't like them. I didn't like doing them. And then I was like, oh man, I've spent all this time, and I guess it wasn't like it was wasted time, but I could have just got a good working knowledge of them. So I had a working knowledge and not spend so much time on them. Right. So, this is where I kind of like differ from a lot of the gurus out there. And I think when you're new, like your responsibility when you're new and you're trying to figure out what you're doing is to try a lot of different things, Now there's doing that with intention and doing it the right way. And then there's just shiny object syndrome. There's a difference there. Right. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, trying a bunch of different services to see which one you like, which one resonates with you, which one resonates with the people in your market and the clients. I'll just take some personal experience from myself. When I first moved to Maui, I thought the thing that was going to make me rich, the thing that was going to make me rich was going to be mobile marketing. Because I moved to Maui in 2010. So mobile marketing was a hot topic in the offline marketing space. A lot of people were talking about it, how great it was, how easy it was to sell, making everybody's websites mobile friendly, blah, 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 blah. And when I was doing some preliminary research, a lot of people, a lot of businesses, almost all of them didn't have mobile friendly websites. And I thought, man, this is going to be a golden payday. And then I got there and I started prospecting and I could not sell a mobile website to save my life. Like the market there just was not ready for it. Like it was really an eye-opening experience. So this thing didn't work. Now, on the other hand, because I was trying a lot of different things, because, when I tell you like to try different things, like this is what I did. So I had tried, I tried SEO, I tried mobile websites. I really wasn't able to get very little traction with any of that stuff. But then I had this direct mail thing and it just took off like gangbusters. Like I got the most traction with that. So I never in a million years would have thought that was going to be the service that would have given me the traction to get my agency started and start me marching on the path to a 6-figure agency, but it did. Right. And, so, a lot of times comes back to, making sure that we're not trying to automate too soon and all that stuff, because you want to be able to just get up and see if you can get some traction. And then once you can get some traction, then we start the automation product and process. And very early on, my automation was like super simple. it was a spreadsheet with a list of all the businesses I was going to contact. And then, you know, like I would have certain days where my reach out days. And then I had certain days as my follow-up days. I wasn't even sophisticated enough to use a CRM, right? So like I was just doing it all pretty much manually into my calendar. And so the easiest way for me to do that was to have, you know, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays would be outreach days. And then I'd have follow-up days, specific days where I would just go and spend the day following up. So that was my primitive automation in the beginning. And then as you go and you get better, you get more automation. And then, you know, once you have the processes down, like because I had the processes down, because I knew what it took to bring those clients on and do that stuff, then I was able to find somebody to do that stuff for me, right? Because I had the process down, I was able to hire them. They were able to come in and start doing those things that I didn't want to do, right? So,
yeah, that's funny. It's funny that you said you started with mobile, because I was the same way. I did a lot of stuff with mobile. Do you remember a company called it's Duda, but they had a division when they first started. They were mobile only. It was called Duda Mobile. I don't know if you ever used them.
I remember them. So I remember Wrecking Ball. I remember Wrecking Ball was a big one.
Okay, yeah.
And and I even had because a lot of the people that were selling mobile marketing back then were actually selling a white label version.
Right.
Yeah. And I forget what the name of the company was, but you could always tell by the short code, right? Because everybody had the same short code, and that's because they're all selling there. And I even had a white label. I went so far as to get a white label account. I was anyway.
That was a big deal.
Duda, you were doing that?
I was doing that. And I also dove into white label mobile apps. So like an actual app for the business that you could download, you know, on the App Store. And that the company that did that, I'm sure they're still around. It was called Biz Apps, I believe, or Biz App. They were out of San Francisco. They were startup, but they grew. They got pretty sizable. They got pretty big. I did that, but same type of thing. I ran into the same type of thing. People just didn't know the sophistication of the buyer, you know, the local business owner in 2010, 2011. It wasn't even close to what you deal with nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot more selling, right? You know, nowadays, which is nice here in 2024, I think most small businesses understand that they need a lot of these things on some level. So, you know, the selling it's not necessarily really selling. It's really just, you know, building that relationship. As long as they trust you, they like you, usually they're okay with, you know, having you fulfill on that service for them.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the interesting thing about mobile too is like back then, I mean, imagine if you based your entire business around mobile, because now every website you have is automatically mobile. Like there is no thing there, right? Like it was a thing for a while and it's not a thing anymore. And so like, I think when, you know, that's another important thing to keep in mind about automation and what you're doing is because, well, there can be something said for riding a trend and generating income from it, but you have to be very careful to, you know, like what you really make the core parts of your business. Like fundamentals always are going to hold up and be good, right?
Right.
Another thing.
I mean, that's a fantastic point right there. I can't agree more with that. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, there's something, being an entrepreneur, you have to be flexible. You have to be okay with change, and you have to be able to, you know, roll with the punches and be able to flip on a dime and know and really be ahead of the curve and identify trends and be able to capitalize on them. But I think you're right that you don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole of something that's extremely trendy, where you kind of lose that foundation, and because then you can wind up in a pretty dangerous spot business wise. So I think you're right, really keeping it simple and focusing on the fundamentals, but at the same time, you know, capitalizing like we talked about on a couple of live shows back a couple of weeks ago. where we were talking about the Google business websites, right? That's an option right there where you identify a problem in the market, you see that this is coming down, that Google's going to be shutting these down, you're able to capitalize, but yeah, it might not be the smartest thing to build an entire agency or business around it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to think about those things and what's going to happen there, right?
Yeah.
So I want to give all of you out there some specific guidance on, because we talked in the title, how to get 1 to 3 new subscription clients each month, right? Even if you're brand new, even if you've never had a client before. So if you're watching this and that's you, let me know in the chat. Maybe you've never had a client. You'd be interested in getting 1 to 3. Because really, I was just thinking about this yesterday, how, boy, it was such a struggle to get those first clients for me. And now I look back on that and I just think, why did I make such a big deal out of it? Like, it's not, it's not as difficult as I built it up in my head. And we've had kind of a process that we've used ever. Dorn says he's never had a client. Yep. We've used this specific strategy over the years that has just really worked well for us. And almost everything that you see us do is usually based or derived from this strategy. And again, over the years, it's gone from less sophistication to more sophistication and automation. So this has always been kind of our basic strategy. So number 1 is identify a problem, right? We need to identify a problem that someone would really want to have fixed. Okay. Number 2 is to not go in guns a-blazing, trying to sell super high ticket things right off the bat. We more want to come in with a reasonably priced offer to kind of get our foot in the door. And sometimes these things can be recurring, sometimes not though, right? But some type of offer to get our foot in the door. And then the third step of that process is, now that we're building a relationship and we have a working relationship with someone, to, nurture that relationship, talk about other things we can do, identify additional problems that they have, and then sell them on the recurring services that way. This works really well if you're brand new, because the problem you have to overcome when you're brand new is the trust factor. People they have a hard time trusting you when you can't show them anything, or you don't have any case studies, or you can't point them in directions of people to work. But doing it this way, like, you have a very low barrier to overcome, especially when your initial offer is something super affordable to them. That really makes it, they don't have to have a lot of trust to get it done. And then when you over deliver on that, it makes it easier for them to say yes to the next thing. So this is a framework that we have used since we started. And if you look at, I say this all the time, if you look at our Offline Sharks products, every product that we put out, it was like some type of foot in the door strategy. And, when fast loading websites were a thing, we had a little software tool that identified slow loading websites. We used that as a foot in the door for SEO. We had, the SSL thing. So, a lot of the stuff we've done over the years is based on this. Now it's 2024. Gosh, I can't believe it's 2024. 2024, when you look at our Reach cold email machine, it is a more sophisticated version of that framework, right? Because the Reach cold email machine, we have a foot in the door offer, which is our influencer/directory website. That's our foot in the door to start the conversation, giving them a free listing on that site that's located in Hawaii. So that's our foot in the door offer. But the Reach email system automates everything that we used to take manually, right? So you just load in the list and then the emails are all set up to do it. So again, Now we've worked that system out over the years as it's been shown to work and consistently get results and all that stuff. So when I say like the automation can be different on each side, that's how you do it, but it works either way, right? So I think especially if you're new, this is one of the best ways to get in and start getting some results, right? Have some simple lower price thing that you can go in and offer as a foot in the door service and then build out from there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, that trust, especially in this business, you know, we're not selling anything that's tangible. People can't just touch it or hold it, look at it, right? We don't ship any products to them. So I think that in and of itself, you know, there's a lot of trust that goes along with it. So I totally agree.
Yeah. And, you know, Taylor's comment here about how his social guys just walked themselves into SEO and Google business, right? From 2,100 a month to 6K. Like we've been talking about this for a few weeks. High paying, you know, what the quote gurus tell you is that, oh, there's just high paying clients all over the place. And if you just ask them to pay you $6,000 a month, they'll pay you $6,000 a month.
Right.
That has not been our experience. Our experience has been exactly what Taylor is experiencing, which is we've taken clients that we've brought in at our lowest monthly SEO package, $1,000 a month. Some of those clients are now paying us $9,000, $10,000 a month because we've walked them up. One, we've delivered an amazing experience. We've gotten them results. We've built trust. They feel very comfortable spending more money with us and doing those things. And so, you know, that's, I think more in our experience has been more so how we get those bigger clients, not just coming in and doing that.
I agree. I think it's that, you know, you come in, like you said, you identify that problem, you solve the problem, and that instantly builds that trust. Because, you know, you identified the problem, you came in, you said, hey, I can fix this for XYZ price. They pay you and you get it done and you build that trust factor. And like I've always said, for me in our agency, the way that we've always sold is we've always taken the consultative approach where, again, identify that problem to get in, to build that trust, and then revisit that relationship in a consultative manner and really kind of prescribe the next thing. So just say, hey, we've identified this, we fixed this, you know, now this is the next thing that you might want to look at. And that just easily transitions you into those monthly recurring services. So, you know, you don't have to sell, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 monthly recurring right off the bat, but you could easily transition somebody into a, you know, 150, 350, you know, 450 a month monthly service after you've built that trust.
Yeah. I mean, and that can be life-changing money. I mean, the first time I signed a client up to pay me $500 a month and they paid me $500 a month every month, like it was life-changing. That was a freaking car payment. That was a car payment and groceries for a week, right? That I didn't have to worry about. Like, so, you know, don't get so wrapped up in the big numbers at this point because it compounds and it works up, right? There's something
I always say it's green. It spends the same. Doesn't matter, right? It's all green.
Yep.
So
well, and there's something. Gosh, I was gonna say something, and now I lost my train of thought on it because it was like, boy. Oh, I remember what it was. Like, I mean, think about this too. Like, if you're still thinking like, oh, I don't, you know, Tom, I don't know. Like, I think you could go out. And by the way, I have to differentiate here. If you are an established digital marketing agency and you have a lot of clients and a lot of proof that what you do gets results, and you have all of these things to back you up, you have a team, you've got all this stuff you can show somebody. Absolutely. You could probably go out and land a $6,000, $8,000 client. Like, we do get clients that come in and just start off paying us that, but we didn't in the beginning. Like, that happens now because we have a team, because we have, you know, over 50 clients. Like, we're a bigger agency. Like, we have a lot of credibility and authority that just exists. Like, we don't have to manufacture any of that, right? So what I'm really more talking about is if you're newer, you don't have a lot of that to back you up, then your chances of landing those types of deals are going to be very slim. And one way to really prove that to yourself is just think, well, what would you do? Like if somebody like came up to you and was like, hey, pay me $8,000, I'll do your SEO. Like, would you just be like, okay, sounds great? Or would you want to know, well, like, what would your first question be? Like mine would probably be, well, who have you done SEO for? Right? Like the question that I get irritated at people for asking me would be the first question I would ask somebody else. So, think through some of this stuff from their point of view, and then that'll make it a little easier. And I think, having some type of offer that you can come in with, that's low barrier of entry, so that you can show that you deliver a good customer experience. And then, by the way, listen, you have to deliver a good customer experience, right? Like don't drop the ball there. Like you have to deliver a good customer experience. So,
yep. We had somebody asking about offering audits. Yeah. I just saw that come in. Yeah, 1000%. Audit's a fantastic place to start. You're offering something of value up front. I think that's a great place to start. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this has been one of our oldest strategies. And again, when you look at this, like as a matter of fact, this past March, 8 years ago, this past March, we launched our first product as Offline Sharks. And that product was called Fast Cash Website Audits. And really what that course was about was, at the time, a lot of people were doing free audits to try to get clients in. And Nick and I were doing that approach and not having, I wouldn't say, it wasn't that we weren't having success. It was, we were experiencing a lot of frustrations. Like we were spending a ton of time putting together proposals, sending them out, never hearing back from clients. The audits took time, and we just weren't, we weren't getting the results back that we wanted. So we decided to just stop doing that and start charging for the audits. So we used the audits as a foot in the door, and we sold them for $250. So we said, look, for $250, we'll go in, we'll take a look at everything you have going on in your digital marketing place. We'll take a look at your competitors. And then you'll have a report that shows everything that you should work on with some actionable steps that you can take. And so instead of doing a bunch of work for free, we were getting paid to bring that client in. So if you can do that, that's a good way to do it. And then that's kind of what got us thinking about more foot in the door strategies and things like that. So
yeah.
Look, Dorn said he sold 5 this week. Dorn, I better see those in the wins. You never push your wins, man. Come on. Push your wins. Okay. Taylor says, look, yeah, audits are key. Yeah. See?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. Speaking of some wins, let's do some shout outs. Let's talk about some wins, and then we'll come back and we'll do some more questions and things like that here in a minute.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. There's an easy media call about that. I love that one. Yeah. So a couple of things about the shout outs I want to talk about today. Number one is, I know a lot of times when people share their wins, they just share the first one. Like they sign up a client, it's a monthly client, but they just share the first one. I want to remind everybody that whenever you get an invoice, small, medium, big, whatever size that invoice is, whatever the win is, even if you're not officially getting paid, even if it's just like, hey, listen, I bartered or I did this or whatever it is, like we want to hear about those wins in the group. No win is too small. No one is too small. And we definitely want, just because you've shared it before, if you're getting paid each and every month, share that one in the group. We'd appreciate it because we like to keep track of all that and see how it goes. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen here. And here we go. First up, Sandy Smith. So Sandy got a payment in from his 2 recurring clients. So look, month 8, $1,545 and month 5, $499. So nice. Sandy has had a client paying him $1,545 for 8 months. That is a hefty.
Yeah, that's a nice chunk of change.
Dude, look, even the 5-month client at $500. I mean, that's what is it? $2,500. Yeah,
that's great.
$2,500. Yeah, you can do some pretty good damage with $2,500 in Vegas. So, we've got Devendra and Nick. They did a website redesign for a holistic wellness coach, $1,000.
Nice.
Excellent work. Dorn.
Where's Dorn?
Dorn, you did share your wins. I apologize, Dorn. You did share your wins. $1,200 a year SMS client plus $97 for access to the platform. They pay all compliance and texting charges. That's awesome.
Very good. Yeah.
That's a great one. Oh, by the way, if you're inside the Shark Alliance or the Shark Alliance Elite, Dorn does all of the coaching and training calls there, because that's how Dorn got started. He went through our path to six figures and built up. And of course, he's done all the hard work. I don't want to take anything away from him. But man, he's a great guy to go in there and listen to those calls and ask questions too and see what he's doing. So make sure you guys check that out. Taylor Stillman closed a $1,500 a month social management deal for 3-month contract with a year-long contract to follow. It's a new restaurant. They're going through a rebrand. They want to build interest prior to launch boosted posts, then run steady posts, chatbot, link bio, GBP, and a lot of stuff in there. So awesome work.
Oh, yeah.
Some work. Taylor, a Shark Alliance member as well. Jerry Wright from Agency Evolution, Invoice Day. Jerry, thank you for heeding my words last Friday and posting this. So he's got a WordPress monthly software update, 75 and 87, both since 2021. 3 years. 3 years they've been paying him $75 and $87 a month. Wow.
That's great.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then a Google ad management that's on month 4 for $630. And he did a new website for a plastic surgeon, $2,260. Excellent work, Jerry. It's awesome to really see you getting some good traction, Jerry. Great work. Bill Cook, another client, came back, $647 a month. They dropped their service in the winter and came back with a severely broken website. Nice save, Bill. Nice save. Joanne Westwood picked up 2 websites and a Google Business Profile, $2,000. She hired 2 more VAs, monthly subscriber to email services and high level, probably $1,200. Called her referral partner to thank him again for the monthly subscriber client. And he says, oh, hold on, I've got another one for you. And she closed it $1,000. That's awesome.
That's Joanne for you. I love it.
Lucas Sales has a very warm lead, book a discovery call for next week for SEO services. He picked them up via premium reach listing and the free audit. We were just talking, somebody was just asking, our audit's still a good way. So when I talk about the different levels of sophistication, again, the reach system incorporates an audit. We have an activation call. We go over an audit with them anyway. So they inquire and ask twice about knowing more on our services. So excellent, Lucas.
Very cool. Yep.
Cody Weaver, bundle save offer, $1,250 a month. Catering company, $575 a month. Insurance company, $1,275 a month. And a website with Google Management and PPC for a barber, $625 a month. Good stuff.
That's a pretty good week. Jeez.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's a combined total of $17,465 for the week of April 6th through 12th. It's a grand total of $286,825 since the start of 2024. So we're already over $250,000, well on our way. We want to get up to that 1.52 million range of wins from you guys. So make sure you share them in the group, and excellent work, everybody who shared what they were doing here. Let me get That's over awesome. Here and share my screen. Really great stuff. I'm also gonna put up a link at the bottom. I talked about the Lazy Agency Owners Growth Toolkit. We've reopened that up for just a few days and brought it back down to a special. I don't know. I mean, it's not really a launch but it's just on special pricing over the next few days. So
intro.
If you don't have the Lazy Agency Owners Growth Toolkit, just go to offlinesharks.com/toolkit, pick it up. Again, it's got the frameworks of the 3 core services we use to make over $1 million. There's a lot of stuff in there for onboarding, delivering a great customer experience, sales automation, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely worth it. And by the way, I know we have lazy in the title, but it is not about not working. It's really about working smart, right? And having those systems and processes in place. So you guys can check that out as well. And we also have something else that we haven't done in, well, I don't know if we had one of these last week or not, but it's time to do a Member of the Week. This week's winner, who gets a shark treasure chest, which I have over here. I've been seeing people posting the pictures of them in the Facebook group. Good job. Lots of goodies inside here. Don't give away what's inside, though. Our winner for Member of the Week this week is Sandy Smith.
Nice.
One, he participated in the RM Agency Evolution Weekly Accountability Check-In, and he shared his monthly recurring invoice wins. So excellent work, Sandy. Excited to see you making progress and getting those wins in. So
yeah, congratulations.
Awesome stuff. All right. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments here. And do you guys have any questions about anything? Oh, here, look, let me show you guys this. I should have had this already pulled up. And then we're going to do some Cash App money as well. So I'll just show you guys this. So I'm going to share my screen here. This is actually, when you go to that link, when you go to offlinesharks.com/toolkit, you'll end up on this page. Crazy little video here of me, but you can scroll down here and see a ton of stuff that is inside here. We basically have 3 buckets that we cover inside this toolkit: the sales and onboarding, the fulfillment, and the agency CEO toolkit. Plus, there's a ton of bonuses here. Like, if you've ever wondered, like, well, what are all the services that we offer at our agency? What are the different packages? What do we charge for them? All of that stuff, we have that in here as well. You get our agency offering pricing matrix, a ton of stuff in here. Really, really, really good stuff. So go check this out. I think this is one of the, if you've ever heard about, agency evolution or remote millionaires and thought, man, I wonder, like, I wish I had information from that program that I could use. This is really a way to get that, because a lot of the stuff in here we've only shared with the people in those communities up until now. So you can go check it out. And then, Jason, you see any last minute questions we have in there?
Oh, you know what? Let me jump back in and check it out here.
Yeah, Jordan says we could tell you, but then we'd have to disappear you. Right. That's right. Yes, and so here's something we're going to do that's new. So every week we do this thing where we give away $25 in Cash App money, right? And we have a new way to do it this week. So usually someone from our team just picks 2 random people that go to the shout out post and post great job, good job. I still want you to do that. I still want you to go to the shout out post, say good job, all that stuff. But all I need you to do right now is enter in the comments of this stream hashtag toolkit, all one word. Just put in hashtag toolkit. And when you do that, you will automatically be entered into the drawing. I see we have 1 entry, 2 entries. I'm going to draw 6 now. Nice. So everybody put in hashtag toolkit. And we are going to do a draw. I'll actually do the drawing. This is pretty cool. I've never tried this. So I've been wanting to try this. So, I see. Look, come on. Hashtag toolkits. Hashtag toolkits. Hashtag toolkits. Put them in there. And I'm going to draw. And somebody is going to get some Cash App money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Cheating, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Okay, that's right. Dollar. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Man, the chances of winning are pretty good. It looks like we've only got 17 entries. There's 63 people watching this stream, yet only 17 people put hashtag toolkit in to win $25. That's all you have to do. Look, put this in, put in hashtag toolkit, I think you may have to be registered. So make sure that you're registered to StreamYard. I'll give you guys a minute to do that if you need to, because we're going to do a drawing. We're going to draw for two. We're going to draw for two. So I'm going to draw the first one, and you only get one entry.
Yeah, Doran a bunch of them.
Doran's like spamming the stream. So, okay, I'm going to come over here, and let's see how this baby works. All right, so I'm going to draw our first winner of $25 Cash App money. Oh, look at that. That is pretty
That's
amazing.
pretty cool.
Oh, well, we can't win. That is so... This thing is rigged.
That is totally rigged.
This thing is rigged. Oh my God. We're going to redraw because we cannot win. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Woo. Hey, you know this show is live, everybody.
Yeah, right.
You can't plan that. Sandy Alexander,
nice.
the first winner of the $25 Cash App. Sandy Alexander, $25 Cash App money coming your way. Look, I'm going to give you guys a chance to, I'm going to draw one more winner. So if you see your thing like this, there's a link in the stream to go and give StreamYard permission so we can see you like this. See how we see Barbara there? So I'm going to give you guys a second to do that. And you know what? We'll just play this again.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Cheating, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
All right. And we will draw again for one other winner. So here we go. The second person to win $25 cold hard cash. Dave Sutherland.
Nice.
Woo! Look, I love
Congrats.
that. Look, the confetti. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
We're getting high tech on this show. Awesome stuff, Dave. Awesome stuff. Congratulations. Somebody from the team will be reaching out, or you guys can just share your Cash App tag in there and get that as well. So, all right. So listen, Lazy Agency Owner Growth Toolkit on a special pricing right now, only for a couple of days. So please go to offlinesharks.com/toolkit. If you haven't grabbed it yet, get it while it's on a special low price. No need to pay more if you don't have to. Also, we have something special cooking that I believe you're going to hear us start talking about on Monday or Tuesday. So get ready. It ties in really well with everything that we've been talking about on this show, because it's really a foot in the door. Well, it's a foot in the door strategy that is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. And we're going to be telling you guys all about that on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. So keep an ear to the ground and eye on all of our stuff for that. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to our support. Make sure you share your wins in the group. More importantly, later go back to the section where we were talking about, how to bring in 1 to 2 subscription clients with some of the strategy we had there. Take some notes, formulate a plan. Remember, think about what's the minimal viable thing you could be doing to test it out, to see if it'll work for you. What is that? Right?
Yep.
Try that. And then let us know in the Facebook group how it goes. And if you have questions, just ask us there and we'll answer them there. What do you got going on this weekend, Jason?
Well, we're finally getting some nice weather, so hopefully get to do some hiking here real soon up in the mountains, which I'm excited about. No snow on the ground here around the house, so that's good. So finally get out there and start to experience some of this beautiful spring weather.
Yeah, it was 80 degrees here yesterday.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah, really nice. Really nice.
We
weather.
probably won't hit 80 for at least another 2 months, month and a half probably, but yeah. We hit 50, so I was excited.
Yeah. It was close, but it was kind of chill last week. I'm actually headed after this live show. I'm headed to the gym to do a workout that I do not want to do, but I'm going to go do it anyway. And so hey, listen, thanks guys, everybody, for hanging out with us. Listening to this chat. Thanks for all the awesome questions, all the awesome input on the stream. We're going to be back here next Friday, same sharp time, same sharp channel. Until then, stay safe, practice aloha, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
See you guys.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam session. We've helped thousands just like you start and scale their businesses. If you'd like our help to grow your business, go to the link on your screen now and let us know how we can help you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.